Welcome back, guys. It is March 2020, Real Estate Guru podcast, and it's been a long time since we've done a podcast. And a little bit about Mario again. We've got Ron over here. My name is Josh, and we're going to talk a little bit about real estate, a little bit about business, a little bit about success and failures, and a little noise talking as well.
Um, so we're gonna give an update of what we've been doing the last year and a half.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's been our last podcast was September 2018, so it's been about a year and a half. A lot has changed in a year and a half for everybody, and let's start with Ron, man.
Okay. I mean, a lot has changed for me. Right now, I hurt my leg. I tore my Achilles playing basketball. Right now, I'm rehabbing my leg. As far as work right now, I'm a doctor of physical therapy. I'm also a chiropractor. But I'm not working as much right now. I'm just letting my leg rehab. I'm still trying to take classes on real estate. There was supposed to be a class by I think Sue Costa tonight that that I was going to take on wholesaling.
Ah, we'll talk about that a little bit. Yeah,
exactly.
That's
Right now,
a
I'm
dirty
just,
word.
Yeah, right. But yeah, right now I'm just I mean, a lot of good and bad things are happening. I'm also into precious metals. I'm into stocks. I bought some precious metals. Told you about it.
Yeah.
Some stuff called rhodium. Probably I bought them in 2013, and I bought them for like $1,200 a bar, right? And I recently sold them. They were now they're $12,500 a bar.
Wow.
I bought them at $1,200.
Wow.
And so I was just sitting there all depressed about my leg, and I'm over here looking at the prices, and I open up look up the prices. I'm like, man, this thing is $12,500. I got rid of them.
Wow.
So I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
So
wow, that's crazy.
It was a big win.
So how
So
much you made?
I don't really want to disclose. I really don't want to say, but I'll just tell you this: I bought a few rhodium bars. And like I said, I bought them at $1,200, and I sold them at $10,000.
nice,
So
nice,
yeah.
nice.
Really
That's a
good.
good little lick, man.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
good.
yeah.
How long, when'd you buy them again?
2013.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Not bad. So talk about the injury a little bit. You were hooping. Ron's a hooper.
Yeah, I play basketball and I go hard, man. I go hard when I play, but like Russell Westbrook, banging into people, trying to jump over people, and I just did like a little bitty move and it popped.
Yep.
And so I wasn't stretching. I was one of those people that I don't stretch. I just go to the gym. I start jumping.
Yeah.
So I've been doing that for years, and it's sad because I'm a physical therapist, right? So yeah, it's just, you don't take your own medicine. That's sad.
Yep. So Mario. Currently, you're the better hooper, obviously, but when he gets his Achilles back,
Oh man,
he's in trouble.
Yeah, you already know. So.
Nah, he's better.
He's better than you. Just say it. Just say it.
Oh,
He's better.
Man. I beat you just a couple of times, right?
Just say
Maybe
it,
once
bro.
or twice.
He can shoot
No, I'm
better.
just kidding.
The
All
truth
right.
don't hurt. He's like really better than you, or
He
like-
shoots better.
But
I'll
you know
say
what,
that.
Mario? You should always say you can't teach height, though. I'm taller than you, man.
Are you really? Yeah.
No, he's
Oh,
taller
he's
than
taller.
me. Yeah,
Okay,
he got me
okay.
by 3 inches.
6'3". He's like
Go ahead.
5'11".
No, bro, I'm
You know,
6.
I've known
Go ahead.
Mario forever, and I've never seen him hoop.
No, you see me at the
Oh.
U of H. You
No,
was there.
bro, you ain't missing nothing.
You know
No,
how
I'm
long
just-
ago that been? How long ago was that?
I mean, you see me hoop though.
Okay, I can't remember it.
Oh my goodness.
It's not saying good nor bad, but I
you're
can't
like-
remember.
No, that's cool.
So, what about you,
ahead.
Mario? I'll talk about myself. We'll go you
Yeah,
last
go ahead.
since it's the Real Estate Guru podcast. Mario's had a lot of success in the year and some change. So, a lot of new changes for me. I still run the mosquito company, as Texas Mosquito Systems, and last year I started a new business, and it's growing like wildfire. It was almost like I call myself a serial entrepreneur, so I can't be happy with just one thing and it's working. So I start something new and it started working and it's growing faster than I really wanted to grow. So, and believe it or not, what it is I've taken regular person's lawn care, like cutting the yards, and don't make no jokes because I'm Hispanic, all right? So I took lawn care and the pest control and I put it into one monthly package.
Yeah.
So if you own a home, and obviously if you don't cut your own yard and you put your pest control in there, we do that as well. So it's
But do the details like the pressure washing, the landscape, the
yeah. So
mulch.
essentially, if you're a homeowner, there's a lot of things that have to happen in your yard, and we're not after the little bitty houses, and there's nothing wrong with that, but we're after the Jones effect. We're after the yards that have landscape lighting that want to look good all the time. And so when you're driving through the nice neighborhoods, you're like, man, that's a tight house. I want to be the guy who makes that house look tight. And so that includes the lawn, the landscape, power washing of the driveways and sidewalks. In the backyard, when you have entertainment spaces, making sure that the outdoor windows are clean. Those hardscapes are power washed. The yard looks good. There's no weeds in the flower beds. So when you go to my backyard, you go to somebody else's backyard, like, this is tight. We're here to create those backyard vibes. And so, it's just an extension of the mosquito business. I started it out of necessity because I was having problems with my landscape guy. I would go in my yard, and every year it's like, man, I got to trim my bushes. I gotta power wash my sidewalks. I got to do this and do that. So I'm looking for multiple people to do different things. And I said, well, why don't I just create a business where we do that? I have a portal. I've got a customer, what they call CRMs and communication devices where we can it's almost like a system. And once you put a system together, you just keep going from there. So that's been working pretty good. It's been a journey. And now it's hard. Now I'm juggling two things as well as a bunch of other little things. So,
Are you the only manager? Do you got a manager also?
I have a manager. I hired one last year, and he's
it
doing
working
good.
out?
There's some bumps in the road. It's like anything. He's a young guy, but he's sharp. But the cool thing is, and this is nothing that I planned on. I did not plan on doing this, but turns out my mom works for me now, and so her entire life she's been in accounting and payroll, which is where I needed help in. I needed help being able to go out and collect past due accounts, accounting, payroll, all the stuff, all the way down to even tax situations. That's what she's done forever. And so she lost a job with a certain city, and she was kind of like, hanging out, and she started coming and picking up my son from school and then coming by the shop and hanging out. And then before you know it, she was behind the computer doing work, and I was like, well, do you want to work here? And I said, I really don't know how that's going to work out,
Yeah.
But so now my mom and my dad work for me full time.
Oh, wow.
So, and the cool thing is, like, before I had this little worry about, you're always going to have a worry if you're a small business owner about, can I trust this person? Can I trust this person handling money?
Yeah,
Can I
yeah.
trust this person handling customers? And who can you trust better than your moms? So
you just went up to your parents and was like, you work for me now.
no, they came to work for me, and it's a really good thing. Like, there's
Yeah.
another guy who I met. His name is Joe Ochoa. He owns a roofing company, and there's a family owned company too. His dad owned it. Well, I think his dad still owns it, but the family and the brothers and sisters run it.
That's dope.
And I asked him for advice. I was like, man, does this work? Because I'm new at it. This, it's only been a matter of not even a year. So he's like, it works absolutely, as long as you can put a separation between handling business and then after work hours, going to have dinner as a family.
Let me ask you one question, man.
Go ahead.
How do you fire your mom?
At her,
How do you fire your dad?
at her age,
Yeah.
I don't know. My mom's not that old, but
Yeah.
I gather that as long as, and she's smart. I mean,
Yeah.
she's good at what she does. And
Yeah.
so I'm the guy that comes in, I'm barking orders, and then I roll out. I'm like, do this, do this, do this. But
Your mom's a pretty agreeable person.
yeah, I walk up in there and I'm like, hey, did you handle this? And she's already did it. So
dope.
as long as that stays the same, I gather what she'll
Yeah.
end up doing is just staying there until she doesn't want to work at all anymore.
Yeah.
And so it's been able to. I can see a future. I can actually see an end game. So I like it, man. It's something that's different. It's cool to see. It's cool for me as a individual that never had a whole lot to see that develop into where it is now.
Yeah.
And it's just the tip of the iceberg. So
Nice.
That's cool.
but that's all I got.
Tell them about the commercial building. You got a commercial building too. The commercial building, Rocheron.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
still working on moving everything over to that. But you know, it's a lot of moving and shaking. I'm renting a spot right now, but I'm gonna build a new place, and I'm gonna make that, I guess, like our, I don't want to call it headquarters, because it's not a huge company, but we're gonna eventually all move to a place that I own. So I don't want to.
So
Most businesses are renting.
You're gonna buy the land and then build it up.
Yeah. So
That's dope.
we just like dead in the middle of that. So
Who's gonna do it for you?
I don't know yet. So I gotta figure out. That's like I'm online trying to figure out, you know,
Okay.
how to get this done, how to get that done. So I can't keep renting a building.
Yeah.
I gotta purchase it.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, I'm the same way.
but Mario, man, you over here collecting rents on the first and evicting people, and
I evicted 2 people since the last podcast. Okay.
what happened?
Well, first and foremost, I had a child. I had a son. He was born last year, the day after my birthday, March 19th.
Really?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
yeah. So I had a child, and then to real estate, I did 8 deals last year. I did 6 wholesale deals, 1 rental, and then 1 flip. Evicted 2 people, same house.
Is it the house?
I don't know, man.
Is it the one on Heather something?
Yeah, Darlinghurst, like in Horn. It's like right by
Yeah.
Madison High School.
I know what house he talking
Yeah,
about.
right by Madison.
Ain't that the third person been in there
The-
all together?
3 people been in there so far.
Yeah.
The third person, he's working out. He's working out so far. He complains a lot, but he pays me on time, so that's all that matters.
Good.
The first guy, it was my fault. I got wrong information about Section 8. They told me that they inspect your house once a month. They make sure they don't mess it up. They got all this. They look after the landlord, and it's really not like that. I'm not talking about people on Section 8, but they're geared to. They're for the tenants on Section 8. They're not for the landlords. Like whatever they mess up, it's your job to fix it up. It's like they don't have, like, there's no accountability. Like, okay, you messed up this plumbing, or I know I was told that, you know, they only can have people on a lease, but they might have like 6, 7, 8 people in your house. Like at that time, he had like 6, 7, 8 people in the house. It was like 4, 5, 6 cars in the parking lot. And I'm getting complaints from the neighbors, like, hey, they parking, you know, in front of my house. The lady next door, she called him the neighbor from hell. I don't even know how she got my phone number, because the house is under my LLC, so I don't know how she got my number. And when they finally got evicted after like 4 months, they destroyed my house.
4 months?
Yes, 4 months.
Did you make any money off this dude?
Actually, he was there like 2 years, so I made $5,000 a year, and
He put $5,000 of damage.
it was like technically it was like 6, 7, but I only paid out of my pocket like 1,500, 1,600.
Yeah.
Because I killed all the bugs. I painted. I cleaned it out. I just needed like a person to do the sheetrock and then do the plumbing.
Yeah.
So it wasn't that bad. But for anybody else, they probably would have been ruined.
Let me ask you a question. Did anybody warn you about that? No, I'm just kidding.
No, I didn't get.
Bro, I didn't told you about that. I was like,
Oh.
hey, bro. No.
No, I mean you told me about that, but I was getting more positive reviews over than negative. Like, you were literally the only person that was like, hey, don't rent out the Section 8. Everybody was like, hey, you get your money on the first.
I said don't rent the section. I didn't say that. I said just be
Careful.
Yeah, because it's gonna be a lot more work than what you expect.
And then
man.
I'm not gonna lie to you, I got greedy because nobody was trying to give me $1,200 at the time. Everybody was trying to. This is like 2016, so everybody was trying to give me
$1,100,
$1,100 or $1,000.
$100, man.
That was too.
That's like, bro.
I got offered $1,100, but they was kind of shaky. But everything else was $1,000. This was 2016. Like, now you can get $1,200, $1,300 all day. It don't matter where it's at. But back then it was like $1,000.
Hey, what'd you buy? What do you have in that house altogether?
I brought it for 66. I put but I did a foundation. I shouldn't have did the foundation. I should have just. It wasn't that bad to get it done.
No,
All in.
Tell me what
all
you got.
in. What's your all in?
All in.
Man?
I'm $87,000.
That's. I mean, that's awesome.
But the mortgage that I have on there, I only owe like $60,000.
So-
$60,000.
Okay, so $87,000 and you're pulling in $1,000 a month. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, and
Right.
uh,
How much is what's the ARV in that area?
the
Which
ARV
is the
in the area is 150 to 160. Right
okay?
now.
What's the ARV? It's the after repair value. How, the value of the houses in that area. So
I could sell the house right now for 110 if I wanted to.
okay,
Cause like a year or two ago it was like 90.
okay. So for other people out there, why wouldn't you sell it right now and just flip it? Like you could. That's an option, right? We got
Yeah.
more than one option. It's more than one way to skin a cat, but
I mean,
it's cash flow, right?
yeah, it's cash flow.
Yeah.
I'm all about cash flow. Like the goal is to pay everything off in 30 years and pass a couple on to my son. And so he
30
can-
years. You're gonna pay it off before that, though.
Yeah, of course.
so-
Probably like 15.
All right. So you paid down the note like 20,000.
I paid out they gave me 80.
Yeah.
It was 70% LTV. So
Okay. So when you say LTV, so everybody understands.
loan to value.
Yeah. Okay. Loan to value.
So it
So if
was-
a
at
house
the
was
time
worth
it-
100,000, you get 70,000 back.
yeah.
Example.
At the time I was at the time I think no they gave me less. They gave me like because I think they gave me 70.
Yeah. That's about right.
Yeah, because it was only appraised for like 90 at the time. 'Cause that was 2017.
Yeah.
And then Houston, of course, the market's been going crazy the last 3 years.
Yeah.
So now the ARV is like 150. So if I
150.
sold it right now, I
So-
can sell it for 110.
Why don't
Why don't you sell it?
No, I don't want to.
why don't you
I
pull
want to
some
be the
cash out and buy another house?
I want to be the cash flow king.
my
I
words.
just want cash flow.
Well, why don't you take that 110, 120 and go buy another house? That
But I'm not gonna get 110 though. I'm gonna get like 40, 50.
What? Oh, you
He's
talking
my
about
after
how
he pays,
it's
yeah.
paid off?
And then
Okay.
and then the way my
Yeah.
mortgage is set up, I'm gonna get a I don't know how much they're gonna charge me. They're gonna charge me for paying it off early.
Oh,
So
okay.
I don't feel like going through all that. And I mean,
Like I said, it's more than one way to skin a cat.
And then
in
I
this
like
game.
the guy. But I'm having a problem with another of my tenants, so I'm gonna wait till I get rid of her, and then I'll probably have him move in that house.
I see 150, 170 in that neighborhood.
That's what I'm saying.
Damn.
But I mean, I'm being conservative. That's what I'm saying. 150.
That's good.
160. I'm being conservative.
What did you learn from that experience as far as
I mean, I'm just
like screening your tenants? That's
Yeah,
that's
I mean-
I told you that's so important, man.
But it is. But you got to understand when you're dealing with these neighborhoods, you're gonna be dealing with people with bad credit. So
Well, I mean, you need a protocol then. Like you need to either
no, we do. We check
make the
we
house
check.
look nicer so you attract higher quality
Man, that
renters, or
before he destroyed that property, that house had laminate everywhere. It was nice. It
Wow.
had crown molding. It had brand new baseboards. The kitchen was brand new. It wasn't Home Depot. It was. I think he got the wood from Floor and Decor or something.
Yeah.
And then he built the cabinets. I forgot where he got it from, but
so why
was a
would
nice
anybody
house.
want to deal with real estate if somebody's gonna trash your home in that neighborhood? Like,
look, I've been doing my research, and like at least every landlord gets one of those. Every landlord from Graham Stephan to everybody. So
but
if
I
you
think-
have enough tenants, you're gonna get one of those.
But I mean, how do you avoid? Like, nobody's gonna want to go through real estate. To
Oh,
me,
well,
I
I
think
mean-
what you should do is you should screen your tenants. You got to look at their credit history, and then you got to call the references. And like I said, people with good credit don't they care about what they do. People that bad credit don't.
But like I said though,
Generally, I'm
when
saying
you-
generally,
when
not
you're
all the
dealing-
time. Generally,
When you
Yeah.
look, I'm from the Southwest Side, and you dealing with people on the Southwest Side, Horn Clark, South Park, Sunnyside, Third Ward. 9 out of 10 times they might not have good.
9 out of 10 times.
70%. I'm gonna say 70%.
Well, that means you got that. Then you have to get more applicants. That means 30% though,
But
right?
I mean, okay,
Yeah.
but what about the people that they don't have time to just be sitting on their house
You talking about like you, or what are you
yeah
talking about?
to
wait.
to be waiting.
I mean,
What are they
to
gonna-
me, that's why I
Did-
told
did-
you, you got to
hold
have
on.
a big bag. You got a bag on the side so you can screen your tenant.
Didn't you
Like-
tell me like
yeah.
'cause my first property, right? I had
yeah.
it vacant for like a long time, and you said I was what was the term you used? I was
don't know.
losing.
I mean, you are losing money every month.
But it was
What?
like a specific term you said. It was like a because I was paying a mortgage on it. And I didn't have nobody. I have nobody living in there that was paying on my mortgage.
Yeah.
So
I mean, so when that's happening, to me, it's a marketing. That's why I say real estate is like it's to me, it's like the simplest form of having a business because you have to do a little bit of marketing. You have to deal with people a little bit. You don't really have no employees, and
but you can have employees. You can have.
no, what I'm saying on the lowest level of having a business, like if you're on a low level, you know what I'm saying, but you got to know how to market. If your house is empty, that means you don't know how to market, or the house looks like crap on the inside and nobody wants it.
All my houses look nice.
Yeah, that's what I'm
That
saying.
sounds pretty tough.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's a marketing issue. Like you were just like,
No,
you know,
I put up for instance around the neighborhood.
yeah, or you're asking for too much.
No, I'm not
Yeah.
asking for too much.
Well, I mean, it has to
Not for
be
the
at
work.
least one of those. I would say, you know, if nobody is, that's my opinion. But I don't know. Why do you think it was vacant?
You talking
so
about the
long.
first house?
Yeah,
got?
yeah,
No,
for so long.
that was my personal. That was a personal. I didn't know if I was gonna move in there or not because I was still living with my parents, so I didn't know what I wanted to do.
Well,
You
so
far
it
from
wasn't
that.
really on the market
Yeah,
then.
you far from that now though.
Yeah, that was like 4 years
Man.
ago.
Yeah.
Y'all a fully independent household now.
Yeah.
That's wealthy.
Oh no, I'm not wealthy. I'm all right.
I mean, the thing is,
The whole word
when
wealth.
yeah, when you don't have to depend on a job
Yeah.
to provide for your household, you're wealthy by the definition.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, that's cool. I'll take that.
Yeah.
My wife still has a job.
Of course, man. It's in her DNA.
We got a plan, man. We
Yeah.
got a plan.
I'm about being spontaneous. So
I mean, she could be at work, but
I'll quit my job the next day if I felt the need to.
yeah, he will. Yeah, he'll Mario like bounce in a minute. So, which is good. That actually helps him out with the real estate deals.
Yeah.
Where I'm shrewd. I'm like, let me
about
reanalyze
You
it
gotta-
5 times, and then
yeah.
it's gone.
You gotta. Yeah, I mean, to me, as
So,
far
sometimes
as
you got to be aggressive when you're buying a property. You can't drag your feet. Somebody's gonna come along, especially in the Houston market right now. Houses are going like literally the day of.
I
So,
think it's tough out there, man.
where
hard-
where
it's
do you think
really,
we are in
really
the like
bad.
the cycle? Because real estate, everything has a cycle. Even like the job market. Where do you think we are in that cycle? You know, it's up, down, up, down. You think we're on the top of the market?
I think as far as houses, we're at the top in Houston.
Think so?
Yeah, and
I
it's
think
hard
so.
to determine that because people said that 2 years ago, right? They were saying, "Oh, we're at the top," and
2017.
man, people have been. I've been going to like you go to like some of these expos. Oh, we're at the top of the market. The market's still going up. So, what were you telling me? You were saying something about your barber.
Oh yeah.
This is
so-
a bad sign. This is how you know you're at the top of the market.
My barber.
He flipping houses now.
He just told me a couple of days ago, and I'm gonna talk about him because it was my buddy. But it's a big learning curve. It's almost like I went back in time like 8 years ago when I first started learning how to wholesale. It's like, I just got an instant headache. I was like, because you're dealing with people. I mean, Mario does this.
Yeah.
So like, and that's the reason why Mario's diversifying his real estate
Yeah,
stuff
yeah,
with
yeah.
other things. He's got another little business popping up, I heard.
Yeah.
So anyway, so you go but that's an entrepreneur mindset. But I'll go back to on subject is you got to deal with these people, what they want for the house, what they think it's worth. There's all kind of stuff you got to learn. And so all of a sudden, like overnight, he's an expert. You know, he knows all this stuff. And I'm like, man, you got to, if the numbers don't fit into this criteria, walk away. And I know you heard this from other people. Be quick to analyze the deal. And if it doesn't make sense, leave it alone.
I'm not gonna lie to you. Like sometimes it's hard, like to just walk away from a deal. Like if the seller wants too much, it's like you spend all that time and energy, and then like a lot. I'm not gonna-
Wholesaling is about it's a numbers game though. So
It is.
that's why a lot of people motivated sellers. Motivated is the key
Yeah.
word.
Yeah.
I did that like twice last year. Like I instead of just outright wholesaling the properties, I brought them with my lender, and then I put it on the market, or then I sold it. So
Yeah. There's multiple things that he does. Like he'll hotel a house.
Yeah.
What do they call it, hoteling?
yeah, it's called wholesaling when you buy a property and then you just put it back on the market. Like you don't touch it basically.
So he's all over the map. My
Yeah.
barber, he's over here, the other side of town over
Yeah,
here,
yeah.
and the numbers.
You
I said,
gotta-
well, tell me about it. He's like, because I know you will invest in. I said, I'll invest in anything that makes sense. So what would make sense? Like just Mario, he's gonna say something out the roof. But let's say you had a $100,000 house,
That's
and
an ARV.
that's worth $100,000 max, and it's got 20 grand in repairs.
20 grand.
Where do you need to buy the house at to be worth it?
I need to buy the house at least 30 to 40.
Right. And so that's 70%
And that's
minus
that's
repairs.
Minimum. That's minimum.
Yeah.
So, he may say 30, 40. If this is the right house, the right curb appeal, he might pay 50 for it. 50 plus 20 is 70. So you're still in the good, right?
Man,
But-
I just
Let me say.
I
Okay,
don't-
so mom, go
one-
ahead.
Just one thing. I'm just gonna say this. Man, closing is a mother, man.
Yeah.
Closing is
There's all sorts of extra little fees that pop up.
man. The title. They get like what 1,000. The realtor fees, even if you
$1,200.
get a realtor just to charge you like 800 or 200 or whatever, you got to pay for the other realtor.
Yep.
So that's like at least 4,500.
Yeah.
And then it's like 7,000, like total.
It's 3.5% per realtor.
And then like so you're looking at probably like 10 to 11,000 closing. So that's why I'm saying like you said what 40? You said.
No,
I
man.
said the house had to be at least 50,000 or under to consider it.
Yeah.
Because every time I do a deal, I think about closing. That's like 10,000. So you just put that to the side automatic, and then you're not, and then the rehab is like minimum is gonna be 20, but it's always gonna be like 30 or 40.
And there's guys out there that are going to buy it for 70, 80 because they want rentals, and they're either going to take some money on a property and flip it over to another property.
Yeah.
So there's always a market for something, but for me to even consider it, it have to be at those numbers. If you come to me and say, "Hey, it's $80,000, it's only worth $100,000, and it needs $15,000 to rehab," that $5,000 is not
Exactly.
worth my time.
Yeah.
There's no way that's
Yeah.
actually unrealized gains.
Unless it's like strictly cosmetic, like the house, the last house I did, that was just cosmetic. That was like carpet, paint. That's it. And we cleaning up the house and we put it right back on the market. And unless you have one of those, and that even cost me like $2,500 because then and then the buyer's picky. They want like stuff fixed. They want the heater fixed, or they want this.
That's pretty.
Yeah,
Picky. That's
yeah.
picky.
Yeah, no.
No,
I
they
mean,
picky,
they
like-
get their
Yeah,
inspection
yeah,
report,
yeah,
and you
yeah.
got to fix all this stuff,
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
So
or
it's
the deal don't go through.
Yeah.
And
And you gotta, if they get an inspection report, you gotta show everybody else the inspection report.
no,
so-
you don't. No, you don't.
Oh, you don't?
No, you don't.
Oh.
No, you don't.
You
That's-
You
sure?
sure about that?
I'm positive. That's
The next, let's say that contract don't go through. The next contract knows about that.
they're gonna ask about it, but then you're gonna be like, I don't know,
How- what
Bro,
do you-
hey, bro, I think you didn't look that
I
up,
don't know
bro.
about
Because
that
I've
one.
always been told
No,
you're
no,
like,
no, no,
if they do an inspection and they,
every
you gotta say,
individual-
I don't want to look at it.
every individual
or-
has to order their own inspection. They have to.
I
get
know,
their own
but
inspection.
if you're the owner and they give you an inspection report and you realize
Yeah.
that something's broken and you don't disclose that to
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
See, that's different.
Seller's disclosure is what it's called.
That's a seller's disclosure. You're talking about that's different. The inspection is every person got to pay like $1,000.
Yeah, I know,
Or sometimes they might. Cause
But I'm saying once the seller does an inspection, you might not know that you got busted pipes under your concrete or something
okay,
like that.
if you're not aware of it, but if you're
No, but he's
if they
gonna
can-
show-
If they,
he's-
they got to prove that you're.
But
that you're
no,
aware of it.
the sellers use that as a negotiating tool. Like if
No,
you know,
of course,
yeah,
of
yeah.
course. That's
they
what I'm
want they
saying.
want nitpick. Okay, you can fix it, or you can take 10,000 off the price.
That's why
and I'll
that's,
fix it.
That's
for
why
them.
at that particular
Yeah.
house I'm talking about, I sold it for $150, and it was so low because the ARV was $160 to $180, based on.
Yeah, you didn't want to fix it yourself because you didn't want to leave it on the market any longer.
Of course,
and fix it.
I
Yeah.
was. I mean, I got the house for $1,000, so I
Yeah.
did it over for $1,000.
I
so-
mean, just saying you got it for $1,000 sounds crazy. So you might have to just like
That's
obviously,
good for clickbait.
yeah, it is. That's a good title. I got a house for $1,000.
That's the title of his show, wasn't
Yeah.
it?
My
Your
last
YouTube
video,
channel, yeah.
Oh yeah,
Got
yeah.
the house for $1,000.
Yeah, but I mean, as far as a little background behind that, the guy couldn't afford the home anymore. He had a little bit of equity in there.
He actually had a lot of equity. He had like 60,000 equity, but he didn't know he had that much equity. He didn't know that he could just post it on the market as is. And
Hey, you might have to get a little bit closer to the mic.
He didn't know he could
Yeah.
just post it on the market as is and make at least. He could have sold it for like
The problem,
140.
he's a motivated seller. The problem is that he doesn't have the cash to fix up the house
He could have sold it as is.
as is.
Yeah, because look, as long as
It's all about if you don't have the information.
yeah.
That's most of the people don't
Just
have the
didn't know.
information.
He
Yeah.
just didn't know that he
Yeah.
could just put it on the market.
Why don't you help him out and tell him?
I'm an
I mean,
I'm an
you're-
investor. And
you're an investor. You sound like you're a hawk, dude.
shark. I'm a
You're a
shark.
hawk,
I'm an
bro.
investor. And I have a family to feed.
Shark.
Dang, bro.
Arr, I'm a
I have a
shark.
child.
I ain't gonna ask you for any help, bro. Dang. No, I'm just kidding. I'm messing with you, man. I'm messing with you, bro.
Hey, any investor out here would have done the same thing.
I mean, that's why you give people options because basically,
But
yeah.
back to what you were saying, I don't think he could afford
You
like
gave-
brand new carpet, and he
You
could
could
afford to fix it
exactly.
either.
You
Yeah.
gave that guy peace of mind because he doesn't know how to do all this stuff. He doesn't know how to. He didn't have time. That's probably what he
then-
did. He's like, man, I got to get rid of this stuff now, and I don't need the headache. So
And
I'm gonna
then-
let you deal with it.
I got all my contractors are pretty cheap and reasonable. He
Yeah.
would have my contract probably would have charged him like
Yeah.
$15,000 to $2,000, but he charged me $700.
Now he does not have a foreclosure on his record either.
Correct.
Or
So
a headache.
paid
You
off.
saved him, right?
A
And
headache.
then
He should have paid you, right?
Yeah, he
And
did.
then-
That's what sometimes they do, man. Like, hey, give me $1,000.
And then the payoff, he's gonna get some more money in the back end because the payoff was like 121, so he's gonna get another 2,000 probably from the mortgage company because we did we closed on the 21st and the payoff was like March the 7th, so he
I
got
think
like another.
escrow stuff or what?
Yeah. So he's gonna get another 2,000. So that's coming in the mail. I can't touch that.